Hey everybody, Marcel Irnie Racing Daily Rumble, March 21st, 2023. Let's just get into the stories really quick. The full video will be on Rumble, and we're going to have a little teaser on YouTube to make sure you guys are reminded to get over to Rumble, get off a censor tube. Okay, into the news. Miami Beach Mayor Dan Gerber set a midnight curfew over spring break due to shootings between visitors to the city. So during spring break, everybody's going down to Miami, Florida, and there was 2 shootings 2 nights in a row, I believe. Let me verify.
For 2 consecutive nights, Ocean Drive has been the scene of deadly shootings. Friday night, just before 11 p.m. at 7th Street, and last night, around 3 o'clock in the morning at 11th and Ocean. As is the case with most serious crime in our city, both shootings were between visitors to Miami Beach and did not involve residents. In both cases, police were literally seconds away from the incidents, and arrests were made within minutes. That said, it is clear that even an unprecedented police presence could not prevent these incidents from occurring. While our daytime programming has helped with crowd control and daytime incidents and arrests are down from last year, the volume of people in our city, the unruly nature of too many, and the presence of guns has created a peril that cannot go unchecked, especially in the evenings. Over the last 3 weeks alone, we have impounded over 70 firearms. So tonight, Sunday, March 19th, we will be implementing a midnight curfew for South Beach as part of our emergency powers. First Street on the south.
Okay, there you have it. So there's a curfew in the South Beach area. He's got a map out, trying to get ahead of these visitors bringing problems to his city. Now to Yemen. A prisoner political swap is happening right now. So between the Saudi-backed Yemen government and the Houthis, I'm sure I got that wrong and I'll have you guys correct me, have agreed on a major prisoner swap that will release over 800 detainees after the 2 sides held 10 days of talks in Geneva, Switzerland. The Houthis said they agreed to release 181 prisoners, including 15 Saudis and 3 Sudanese. In exchange, the Saudi-backed government will release 706 people. The deal was brokered by the UN and International Committee of Red Cross. So there you go. They're trying to, slow down, prevent, stop the war that's going on in Yemen there. And exactly, March 25th will mark the 8th anniversary of the Saudi-led coalition intervening in Yemen to fight against the Houthis with the full backing of the Obama administration. Since 2015, the war has killed at least 377,000 people, more than half of which died due to starvation and disease caused by the blockade and the coalition's brutal bombing campaign. Yeah, again, another war nobody's talking about. Where's all those guys with their Yemen flags, right? Where's everybody? Ukraine. What about everybody else? And again, what is the U.S. doing there? And what they're always like trying to instigate coups and puppet regimes, I bet. And President Biden vetoed a bill that would remove requirements for retirement managers to consider ESG funds. I got my tongue tied today. So Biden issued his first veto of his presidency Monday, rejecting a Republican-led measure that would overturn a regulation allowing retirement plan managers to consider climate change in their investment decisions. The bill would overturn a Biden administration regulation on environment, social, and corporate government guidelines, the ESG. So the Republicans try to put a stop to that, and then Biden vetoed it because everything has got to be about the environment, his political environment. Yet at the same time, it's okay to have a huge unjustly war against Russia through Ukraine dying soldiers, which are just so many Ukrainians getting murdered or slaughtered in this war that they don't have a chance at winning. The U.S. is now thinking, is like, how are we going to get out of this? Because clearly we're going to run out of Ukraine soldiers to fight our battle pretty soon. And more on Biden. He signed a bill to declassify material related to the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. yeah, what is it? 3 years later, like, let's look into the origin of it. Was it the Wuhan? But don't expect it to include any origin tracing out of a US lab leak. And so a lot of people don't know, but there's some information that has surfaced about a leak in a US lab, which completely slanders the story about the Wuhan lab leak. And it would definitely be a probability that the US would try to push off their own problem, mistake, or on purpose over to China in the Wuhan lab, even though it's a US funded lab by Fauci. In the markets, which I follow very closely, gold dropped down. Well, right now it's around 1950. It changes every 5 minutes, really. But the 1950, 1955 US dollars, so it's dropped like $25. So pretty soon it'll be a good time to buy gold here if it drops another 50. Okay, over to Taiwan and potentially wanting peace. There's a political party group in Taiwan that wants peace with China. Of course there is, no matter what the media would have you believe. 2 Taiwanese presidents will make 2 trips in different directions next week, signaling the 2 opposing political sides. So, how interesting. The current president, Tai Ing-wen, will travel to the U.S. to solidify relations with a country that still formally has one China policy. The U.S. has ramped up weapons sales to Taiwan in recent months. The former Taiwanese president Ma Ling-wu will head to mainland China, making him the first president to visit the mainland since 1949. Wow, it's a long time, freaking 70-some years, 74 years. He will spend 12 days in China along with delegation from his KMT political party. Instead of buying more weapons, it would be better to increase exchanges between young people of the 2 sides of the Taiwan Strait, the former president's spokesperson said. According to the South China Morning Post, the more they are able to promote their friendship, the less risk there will be. The opposing Democratic Progressive Party has condemned the visit. The DPP spokesperson said that the former president totally ignored the fact that the Chinese communists have continued to ramp up pressure against us, including intensifying military threats and isolating us internationally. Can't he realize the real nature of China? That when the world is denouncing Russia for its invasion on Ukraine, China has continued to stand by Russia. Does Taiwan really want to be the next Ukraine? At this point, guys, let's move over to Rumble only. So I better change my hair. So get off of SensorTube, go over to the Ernie Racing Rumble, go on to Rumble, type in Ernie Racing. I'll have links in the description to this direct story. And if you want to sign up and support the channel, there's like a little referral for Rumble that if you actually start using and making videos and somehow monetize, even though my $3 a day, it doesn't really mean anything. But maybe one day, well, this will actually monetize. But anyways, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Rumble!